Classic novels adapted for MIRadio. Hear them every day with Jessica Dada. Bookshelf.
Hello and welcome to Bookshelf with me, Jessica Dada. Today we've got 3 short stories for you. A Reflection by Chopin, Arnold Winkelried by James Baldwin, and Ashes of Vengeance by Henry Van Dyke. This is A Reflection by Chopin. MIRadio. Some people are born with a vital and responsive energy. It not only enables them to keep abreast of the times, it qualifies them to furnish in their own personality a good bit of the motive power to the mad pace. They are fortunate beings. They do not need to apprehend the significance of things. They do not grow weary nor misstep, nor do they fall out of rank and sink by the wayside to be left contemplating the moving procession. That moving procession that has left me by the roadside. Its fantastic colours are more brilliant and beautiful than the sun on the undulating waters. What matter if souls and bodies are failing beneath the feet of the ever-pressing multitude? It moves with the majestic rhythms of the spheres. Its discordant clashes sweep upward in one harmonious tone that blends with the music of other worlds to complete God's orchestra. It is greater than the stars, that moving procession of human energy, greater than the palpitating earth and the things growing thereon. Oh, I could weep at being left by the wayside, left with the grass and the clouds and a few dumb animals. True, I feel at home in the society of these symbols of life's immutability. In the procession I should feel the crushing feet, the clashing discords, the ruthless hands and stifling breath. I could not hear the rhythm of the march. Salve, ye dumb hearts, let us be still and wait by the roadside. End of A Reflection by Chopin. Alright, now on to our second story of the day. Here is the heartwarming story of Arnold Winkelried by James Baldwin. A great army was marching into Switzerland. If it should go much farther, there would be no driving it out again. The soldiers would burn the towns. They would rob the farmers of their grain and sheep. They would make slaves of the people. The men of Switzerland knew all this. They knew that they must fight for their homes and their lives, and so they came from the mountains and valleys to try what they could do to save their land. Some came with bows and arrows, some with scythes and pitchforks, and some with only sticks and clubs. But their foes kept in line as they marched along the road. Every soldier was fully armed. As they moved and kept close together, nothing could be seen of them but their spears and shields and shining armour. What could the poor country people do against such foes as these? "We must break their lines," cried their leader, "for we cannot harm them while they keep together." The bowmen shot their arrows, but they glanced off from the soldiers' shields. Others tried clubs and stones, but with no better luck. The lines were still unbroken. The soldiers moved steadily onward. Their shields lapped over one another. Their 1,000 spears looked like so many long bristles in the sunlight. What cared they for sticks and stones and huntsmen's arrows? "If we cannot break their ranks," said the Swiss, "we have no chance for fight, and our country will be lost." Then a poor man, whose name was Arnold Winkelried, stepped out. "On the side of yonder mountain," said he, "I have a happy home. There my wife and children wait for my return. But they will not see me again, for this day I will give my life for my country. And do you, my friends, do your duty, and Switzerland shall be free." With these words he ran forward. "Follow me," he cried to his friends. "I will break the lines, and then let every man fight as bravely as he can." He had nothing in his hands, neither club, nor stone, nor other weapon, but he ran straight onward to the place where the spears were thickest. "Make way for liberty!" he cried, as he dashed right into the lines. 100 spears were turned to catch him upon their points. The soldiers forgot to stay in their places. The lines were broken. Arnold's friends rushed bravely after him. They fought with whatever they had in hand. They snatched spears and shields from their foes. They had no thought of fear. They only thought of their homes and their dear native land. And they won at last. Such a battle no one ever knew before. But Switzerland was saved, and Arnold Winkelried did not die in vain. End of Arnold Winkelried by James Baldwin. Now it's time to hear our third and last story. This is Ashes of Vengeance by Henry Van Dyke. Dun was a hard little city, proud and harsh, but impregnable because it was built upon a high rock. The host of the Visigoths had besieged it for months in vain. Then came a fugitive from the city at midnight to the tent of Alaric, the chief of the besiegers. The man was haggard and torn, his eyes were wild, his hands trembling. The chief held and steadied him with a look. "Who are you?" he asked. "Your name, the purpose that brings you here?" "My name," said the man, "is the Avenger. For 30 years I have lived in Dun, and the people have been unjust and cruel to me. They persecuted my family because they hated me. My wife died of a broken heart, my children of starvation. I have just escaped from the prison of Dun and come to tell you how the city may be taken. There is a secret pathway, a hidden entrance. I know it and can reveal it to you."
This is MIRadio, your number one international radio station.
"Good," said the chief, measuring the man with tranquil eyes. "But what is your prize?" "Vengeance," said the man. "I ask only the right to revenge my sufferings upon those who have inflicted them, when you have taken the city." Alaric bent his head and was silent for a moment. "It is a fair price," he said, "and I will pay it. Tell me the way to take the city, and I will leave at your command a troop of soldiers sufficient to work your will on it afterward." 2. The trumpet sounded the capture of the city in the morning. The Avenger, waking late from his troubled sleep, led his soldiers through the open gate. It was like a city of the dead, and the bodies of those who had been killed in the last defense lay where they had fallen, empty and silent where the streets where Lie had so often walked in humiliation. Gone were the familiar faces that had frowned on him and mocked him. The houses at whose doors he had often knocked were vacant. His wrath sank within him, and the arrow of solitude pierced him to the heart. Then he came to the belfry, and there was the bell ringer, one of the worst of his ancient persecutors, standing at the entrance of the tower. "Why are you here?" said the Avenger. "By the orders of King Alaric," answered the bell ringer, "to ring the bells when peace comes to the city." "Ring now," said the Avenger. "Ring now." Then, at the sound of the bells, the people who had concealed themselves at Alaric's command came trooping forth from the cellars and caves where they had been hiding, old men and women and children, a motley throng of sufferers. The Avenger looked at them, and the tears ran down his cheeks because he remembered. "Listen," he said. "Don't be afraid. These soldiers are going on to join their army. You have done me great wrong, but the fire of hatred is burnt out, and in the ashes of vengeance we are going to plant the seeds of peace." December 1918. End of Ashes of Vengeance by Henry Van Dyke. Bye for now.
MIRadio.